Hello, this is a tutorial on how to make a BCD to 7 segment decoder. It's requested in the comments of one of my videos, and here it is. It's a rather thin one. It's only 6 wide. If you include the gap, you need to space them apart if you're stacking them. But yeah, anyway, start off for 10 lines. Call this one 0. This only needs to be 5 long. Okay, so once you've done your lines, you have something like this, and I've labelled these just to make it clear. 0, starting at 0 all the way up to 9. Then what you do is you put your redstone on them. Once you've done that, you're going to add this to each end, and a torch. All the way along, line on the torch. Now you've done that, just make sure you haven't crossed any paths like this, and we'll move on to the next bit. So where we're going to start, with 1 and 2. This is going to be the binary input, and we're going to keep building it up until we get to 4 and 8. But for now we'll just pick 2 colours, make this one green, make this one pink. There you go, make sure they come out one. You want a block above, just like that. What we're going to do, just going to whack a lever on either one of them. Extend these all the way across. Okay, once you've extended them across, cover them in redstone, and then flick one of these levers and look till you get to the point. The redstone won't reach all the way, so come back a couple. Say about here will do, as long as it's further back. Give yourself some extra room, and you can turn this off. Now we're going to build up these. You build these. You can build these all the way up if you want. Just keep going for a while. About 1, 2, 3, 4. Get up to 5 torches high, 5 blocks and torches high. Do this all the way across. Okay, once you've done that, you have something looking like this. Now what we're going to do is correct this mistake here. As I say, we've stuffed this up a little. This is what we want to happen. We want this along here, but we don't want these this close. So we're going to bring these back an extra 1, like so. On top, I'm going to re-add the lever. Right, and make sure to check in case you didn't give it enough breathing room, stuff like that happening. Make sure it all still lines up. That's great. Now we're going to need these lines across each one, so they match up with the bottom. Once you've done that, top up your redstone and start building up on this. Now we're looking for the same thing here, all the way across like so. But with this bit here, we want to build it up a little differently. We need this to be on here, and that's what we're looking for. We want this row to be on. You'll see why a short bit, but just make sure you build both sides up like this. And extend this out, cover with redstone, and make sure you've got a repeater in where you need it. Okay, so once you've built everything up, I've added some signs here just to re-sign them. We're going from 0 to 9. Excuse me. Everything's linked up. Make sure your repeaters work and are connected on both levels. Now what we're going to do is I was going to explain how this bit works by itself and then build on top of it after, but then you'd left with bits left out and it'd be a bit more complicated. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this exact same thing on top of it to add 4 and 8. Just so we can get this done, I'll explain it all, and then we can move on to the 7-segment decoder, which we slap on top. But right now I want you to build exactly the same thing again, starting from here though. So this bit all across here, like so. So directly above these, and give the wall a different colour just so you know what's what. Like this will be, that'll come out here like that. And there we go, so same again, and I'm going to do it now quickly. I'm going to build it all. Okay, now with everything done, everything wired up around the back there, make sure all the repeaters are in range. You've got all your redstone down where you need it. I've labelled these up once again, 0 to 9, 4 and 8 right here. Now we're going to go into wiring these up. So let's just add one more. Just going to add one more row to this for visual appearances. So what we're going to do is we're going to wire this up, and every one with every number we wire up, it's going to turn off these torches. Now I just want to express that this isn't the full 7-segment yet. This video is getting a bit long, so I'm going to have to put it into the second part, as it's one decoder or encoder, whatever they're called, on top of the other. So, but you need this for the other to work. Okay, just going to re-explain this. I've just filmed a load and looked over it. I didn't do a good job of it, went on for ages. So I'm going to have another go at it. So like I said before, we've got 0 to 9. We've got our decimal binary, 1, 2, 4 and 8. And the way this works is, obviously we've got our on and off lines here. We'll call this our trigger line, the one that's always off, and we'll call the one that's always on the off line. Doesn't make much sense now, but you see what I mean in a second. Now like I said, we're going to hook all these numbers up so these lights are off, and they only come on when we tell them to come on. So for 1 to come on, we go down to our trigger line, and sorry, this is 0 to point out, but this green one, this is 1, and that's what we do. Our trigger line, we want a torch on every number that 1 is a part of, that we need to turn on to make, if you know what I mean. So not every number, obviously you can add ones up, but see, I need 1 to make 1. I don't need it to make 2, but I do need to turn it on to make 3. So do that again. Don't need it for 4, need it for 5 though, need it for 7, and we need it for 9. And the offline, now this works in a way that when I want 1 on, I don't want 0 to be on. You'll notice all these are off right now. These are all hooked up to 1. But let me just explain the offline quickly. So when I flick 1 on, 1 comes back on, so did all the others. That's because we haven't finished hooking it up yet. But we want 0 to turn off, and that's what this offline's for. For offline, we just put it on the top, there we go. When 1's on, we don't want 0 on. You notice it's still on now. Tilt, flick this switch, 0 turns off, 1 turns on. Now 1 has a lot of ons and offs, because it's part of every odd number you make in binary. You have to turn 1 on if it's an odd number. And saying that, we can expect that every odd number is going to be off. So we can save ourselves some time and just turn all the even numbers off when we turn 1 on. So we don't need 2 on, 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When we hit 1, we don't need any of them even numbers to turn on. And we have the same thinking when it comes to 2. instance, when 2 comes on, we want 2 to come on. So we put connect 2 on its trigger line. Remember 0, 1, 2. So there we go. Now what else is 2 a part of? It's part of 3. We need 1 and 2 to make 3. We've got 4 to turn 4 on. We've got 4 to turn 5 on. But we need 2 and 4 to make 6. So add that to our trigger. And we need 1, 2 and 4 to make 7. So there we go. We don't need it in 8. We don't need it in 9. And then we have to have the same thinking again. When we want 2 on, what don't we want on? We don't want 0 on. Turn that off. We don't want 1 on either. Turn it off. Not stuck on there. So we're on the offline of 2. We don't need 0 on. We don't need 1 on. Right, we want 2 on. We need 3 on. If 2's on, we're going to want 3 to come on. Alright, 4. If 2's on, we don't need 4 to come on. Because there's a chance that we'll hit 2 and 4 together to make 6. And 6 will turn on. But so would 2 and 4. And the way around that is to go to 2 and 4's offline and turn each other off. So 2 turns 4 off and 4 will turn 2 off when we get to it. Right, it says 6, 7, 8. So I've counted a bit wrong here. What is this? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, 4, so this is 5. We don't need that on. 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. That's all we need to do for 2. And we can find out if we're wrong simply by going through the numbers in a minute. But we'll try and do the best we can with common sense. And we're going to go to 4's line. Now when we want 4, we want 4 to turn on. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that on the trigger line. We need 4 to turn 5 on. Just so happen we need it for 6. Oh, and we need it for 7. Don't need it for 8, we don't need it for 9. Now, in the offline, when we turn 4 on, we want 0 off. Now we can put 4 and 1 together to make 5, but we don't want 1 turning on, do we? When we have that on, so turn 1 off. We need 4, like we said earlier, 2 and 4 make 6. 2 is turning 4 off, we need 4 to turn 2 off. So we go, don't want that on there. 3, there's the thing, 1 and 2 make 3. 1, 2 and 4 make 7. So when I flick 1, 2 and 4, 7 will turn on, because they're all linked up on the trigger lines. But 3 will turn on, because 1 and 2's on. We can't turn it off using 1 on 2, because they make 3, there's no point turning it off. But because 4's involved, we can turn it off using 4. So there we go. 4 doesn't turn 4 off, doesn't turn 5 off, or 6, 7 or 8, or 9. Let's go across to 8, so we go, now 8, when 8's on, go all the way over here, we've got 9 and 8, 8 is part of 8, 8 is part of 9, so nice and easy 8 is. When 8's on, we want 0 off, we need 8 and 1 to make 9, so when we turn 1 on, we don't want it coming on with 8, so turn 8 on, 1 will turn off. There we go. And that's about it for 8. You'll notice there are a bit of patterns with the on and off lines. Like the offline, 2 at the end here, 2 at the end here. Same with 4, you'll notice this offline has 4 at this end. And its trigger will have 4 in a row at this end. And you'll see it again with 1. You notice they're all in this sort of arrangement. Like here it's skip a beat, skip a beat. This is all the in-betweens, if you know what I mean. You notice 2, got 2 and then a gap of 1, 2, and on the offline we'll have 2 and a gap. See, this doesn't quite add up, there should be another one here. Seeing as we've missed it, we'll have to find it. Or have we missed it? If I just counted wrong. No, I'll tell you what, we'll just find it when debugging, and it's an easy way to find a mistake. But as you can see, I think I've already made one just by looking at that. But let's test it out. We turn 1 on, bam, 1 comes on, 0 turned off. You'll notice that once we've connected all these lights are off apart from 0, because 0 only turns off when we flick one of these on. It doesn't have its own button, it just turns off whenever any other number comes through. And this way we have a default light always on, so when we add the 7 segment display and encoder on top of this, it will always show 0 until a number is put into it, so kind of handy. Right, so let's carry on. Let's test 2. Bam, 2 comes on. Let's test 3. So add the 1, and there's 3. 1 and 2 turn off. Right, up to 4. 3, 4. There we go. So add the 1. So it's getting a little laggy there. The 1. 5. Turn this off. Add the 2 to get up to 6. 6, there we go. Let's add the 1. So my screen's sort of lagging there. Add the 1, go up to 7. This may be where that mistake I made is, I'm not sure. Yeah, here we go. 7's on, but so is 5. So if we work it out quickly, we need 4 and 1 to make 5. So we can't turn 5 off using 4 and 1, but 2 is not part of 5. It is part of the 7 we need, which is, it's all on together. So 2 can turn 5 off, so we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to 2's offline, bam, there we go. And there you go, that looks better now. 2 and 2. So it's 2 and 2. You can see that torch there. So I knew there was a problem just by looking it up, but found an easier way to debug it. And there's 7. Now let's turn these off, test 8 before it gets dark. 8. All off apart from 8, there we go. And 9. There we go. So this is the first half of our binary to 7 segment decoder, encoder, whatever you want to call it. Decodes and then encodes, I suppose, something like that. I believe it's called BCD encoder. I'm not sure, it's been a while. But let's turn it off. Get our 0 as standard. I'm sorry, I still got 1 on. And 0 as standard. But yeah, and check out the next video, and I'll be adding more on top of this, so we could turn 0 to 9 into our 7 segment display, all in this same small space. It'll be a little tool, but stack it over and over. And, yep, give this a like and a favourite if you want to, remember it, and sub for more videos, and all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one.